How's it going, Lone Riders? Let's talk about the long-awaited Rackless Motobags. So if you've been following along for the last several months, we've been developing products. That's what I do here. We develop products for the adventure motorcycle market. And on this channel, we talk about all the processes and how we actually develop them, and also how we get feedback from you and integrate them into the product. So if you do have feedback at any stage, let me know in the comments down below and I will read them all and check them out. And while you're down there, of course, smash that like button, subscribe, and the little bell icon as well. First off, we are almost there. So we have made factory prototypes. That's one step less than the golden sample. The golden sample is when we sign off that product and that product is replicated in the factory as many times as we need to. And I have the factory sample. And this factory sample is essentially the first prototype that comes off the tools that we get to test and, make minor adjustments to. So we've already invested in the tooling and what happens is that we test these toolings, make changes and all this kind of stuff, because it's just not so easy to pump out a plastic part and make stuff. Material moves and molds and changes unpredictably sometimes, so we have to make these fine adjustments to make things work and all the parts work together. So we've done that, and now we are very, very happy to be finally at the stage where we have the production prototype. And let me show you that prototype. So this is it. This is the factory prototype. It's basically the finished product. There's a few small things that I need to change to make it just a little bit easier. Also the finishing, to make the finishing a little bit different, but essentially we are good to go. So what we've done is through the whole process to get to the stage, we've made several videos. They'll be linked in the description down below, and about how we asked you guys what you wanted, how we developed them. We've also made a video here when I've been testing it last time. It's almost up to 1 million views, which is absolutely crazy. And after that video, we realized a few issues and we changed them, updated them, made them much stronger. And I will walk you through the product now and show you how it works. So first off, it fits the Motobags. This is a 38 litre, and essentially they are rackless. They're designed to fit the GS standard version, which was first produced in 2013 till today. That's the 1200 and the 1250. It also fits the 750 and the 850. They use the same cases, the same fixing points, so they also work on those bikes. I'll have a complete list later on in a couple of weeks. We're going on pre-sale soon. I'll come back to that later, but we'll make a proper list of all bikes that they fit. But generally the GS versions, they fit out of the box. We have designed an upgrade kit for the adventure bikes. They have a different footrest, so we designed an adapter plate for that, so that's also an option, a separate option. So I've been using them for the last couple of months without racks, and I find it much better. The bike looks way, way better. I've got a GS 1200 Adventure, and I've put the adapter plates on there to make them work, and they work really well. I love using them, and it just feels so much easier to use, and the bike looks way better as well. So how it works, basically, there's two hooks at the top, here, and then there's a foot at the bottom here, and they just slip into the bike onto the OEM factory standard fixing points on the bike. So there's no need to buy additional parts. You just buy it. They come out of the box like this. We'll compact them so they're easier to ship, but essentially it's plug and play for the GS guys. And what happens is you just pull the button, push the button, and it makes the mechanism open, and you're good to go. You put it onto the bike. Once it's on the bike, you close it up, and it's locked in there. It's semi-locked in there. It's secured in there. And then if you want to lock it, there's a key at the front here where you can turn, and it locks the bag to the bike. One of the reasons why I like it so much is that I don't need to lock it to the bike. I just put it on and drive. I could lock it to the bike, but I don't really do that unless I'm leaving the bike for some time. They do come in two sizes. We have a 38 litre and a 31 litre. And we will be also making an upgrade kit. So if you do have the existing Motobags with the racks, we will be making a pre-sale on the 1st of October, which is pretty soon. And we'll be selling just these to the existing Motobags holders. Okay, later on, we're going to open up the pre-sale to everybody. So if you're a GS owner and you want a new pair of panniers for your bike, we'll be running a pre-sale for a limited time, and then we'll be shipping them early next year. So before the season starts. So it's winter here in Europe now. Well, it's coming into winter in Europe now. So there's not going to be much riding anyway. In that time, we'll be mass producing them, and then we'll be shipping them out to everybody before the season starts next year, well before the season starts next year. So we have gone through a lot of work to get to this stage right now. We've been quiet on it, and it's because it's been hard to produce. There's several hundred parts in this piece, and just 1 millimeter, and the whole thing doesn't really work. I'll give you an example. The reason why it takes so long to develop these products is because, for example, here in the switch on the top, you just push it down to open. I'm only about 1 millimeter out, but essentially when you push it closed, it doesn't close properly. So I want that to be able to close automatically. It did on the 3D printed parts and all the pre-production models. It worked, but not in the production model, because we have these very, very fine tolerances that we're working with, and also material shrinkages and stuff like this. So we will change that in the tooling the next week or two and make it close perfectly like this. So it does work. It works fine. But these are very micro adjustments that need to be done to make it perfect. And if you guys don't know about this, if you just use it and don't recognize anything, you just think, okay, it's on, it's off, it just works, then we've done our job. But if you're like annoyed by a small thing that you have to do something extra to get a result, then we've done our job bad. And that's what I'm doing now. We're just really refining the product to make it super smooth and scalable. Another thing we're going to work on is increasing the thickness of the back plate. What's really cool about this design is we're using HDPE, which is kind of flexible. We can really make the back plate absorb shock. So it's a game between absorbing too much shock and too little shock. So if we absorb too much shock, then the whole thing will bend and stay in place and get maybe entangled in something else, or it just won't work. The tolerances are too large. And if it's too hard, it will break something else, maybe break the bike or break some other part, and just won't work. So we're trying to find a nice balance between rigidity and letting parts that come under pressure or get hit or come under stress move slightly, so it doesn't just crack and destroy the whole system. So that's what we're also doing this week, is just nailing down all the materials and making sure that they are really, really solid and they're the right materials to use. But we're pretty much there. We know we're good. It's just those really fine details. So I'm going to increase the back plate by 2 millimeters. That should give us the good thickness that we need. And these are still lighter than most of the other panniers on the market. These are also very light. They're much lighter than the other boxes that you can buy for the GS. So that's it for now. That's a quick update on the Rackless system. Again, we are going into pre-sale on October the 1st for the guys that have Motobags already. That will send out an upgrade kit, which means they can basically skip, or they can basically remove the old system, which is this system. They can remove this system here, which is the middle back plate, and this is the rack, obviously. They can remove the back plate, and then we can put the new system straight on there. And if you've got a GSA, an Adventure version, we'll send this one out as well for you. And then you can upgrade. I'm recommending upgrading if you have a GS and you want to get rid of the racks. It looks much better. I would also recommend upgrading if you want a lighter system, because you're removing the racks essentially. So you're removing a lot of weight from that the back there. So if you want a lighter setup, I'd recommend that as well. If you're still going off-road, if you're still going hardcore off-road and you need a much durable system, I'd stick with the quick release that we already provide. The reason is we cannot possibly make it stronger than it is now. We're only utilizing 3 points of connection with the bike, and what this does is make it weaker. We could introduce a crossbar, we could increase it a little bit, but generally we've designed it to pop off when you crash. And this connection system is generally focused on the GS guys that do not generally drive off-road. And this is for more touring kind of capability when you're going through the Swiss Alps or you're doing long distance travel. That's what these bags are more for. So if you're really going off-road, then I'd stick to the existing quick release that we produce. They're far superior in strength because you've got that whole rack system to support it and to support on the bike. So that damage and that impact and that trauma that you get when you hit the ground, that's getting spread out over many different points. 1st of October is the pre-sale for everybody that already has Motobags, and we will be launching a pre-sale for the complete system if you need to buy a brand new set of Motobags with the system together in a few weeks. Keep an eye out for that. So to get informed on this, subscribe to this channel, click the subscribe button down below and that notification icon as well. And I'll produce a video explaining more about the details about this product, how it fits. I'll go on the bike and show examples of how it works and stuff. Alex will be also making a video also, and he is quite informative there. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you soon.